Welcome to August 1st. It's time for our next block in our 2026 BOM quilt along. And this month, we will be making the single wedding ring block, which is this one. It's super scrappy, so you've got a lot of different pieces there to make your block, lots of your scraps. I used, of course, my solids in my Blissfield solids collection here for this one. And then let me show you, this is my test block that I did out of scraps from my Montgomery Mountain Charm. So one fun thing about this block is you can fussy cut these little square in a squares or the center square if you want, which is what I did with this little owl when I was testing out the block. And then of course this one is the one that goes along with the mock-up that I have. So this block really is not difficult. You've got 4 square in a squares, and then you've got a couple of rectangles sewn together in your center square. So it's not very difficult. So I think you're going to have fun with this one. So get your fabric requirements that were sent to you via email this month. And if you're finding this video later, look in the description box below and you can get the handout that has the cutting instructions. So let's get started. So let's get started and assemble our single wedding ring block for August. So I have all of my pieces cut. You've got this that was emailed to you on August 1st, which is today. And then if you're finding this video on my YouTube channel, if you look at the description box below, there's a link for you to be able to get this emailed to you for the cutting requirements. So you've got that handy and have everything cut. And this is a really scrappy block. So there's a lot of different scraps that you can use in this one. And so feel free to use whatever colors you want. I'm using solids, of course, and I've got all of those ready. So we've got our background squares, and for me, it's this off-white. It's called vanilla, and that is what you see in the background here. Then you're going to have an A, B, C, and D square, all different colors. So these are the ones that I've picked. As you can see, those are your squares there. And these two right here are going to make up a square in a square. Or sometimes it's called an economy block, either way. So these will be going together. Then you have your E and your F and your G strips. And so as you can see here, you'll have 4 of these E, because you're going to have those on all 4 corners. And then we add in these 2 colors, which will be G will be on 2 sides, and then F will be on the other 2 sides. And then lastly, you've got your center square. This is the H square. So these are all of the colors that I'm using for my block. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sew our units together, our E and F and G, our E and F and E and G. So I'm going to go ahead and just put all of these together like how they're going to be sewn. So you can look here at the picture. So these will be a unit. And since I'm using solids, it doesn't really matter for right sides together, but I'm going to put those together like this. And I'll take this over to the sewing machine, and we'll go ahead and I'm going to chain piece. It goes a little bit faster if you chain piece all of these together. So you're just going to sew a 1/4 inch down the sides of each of these, and then you'll have these units completed within the block. So all of our little units here are sewn together. So you'll take this to your pressing station, and it doesn't matter the direction that you press. I'm just going to press to the dark side, but you could press these open if you prefer. Okay, so I like to go ahead, if you have a rotating cutting mat or you have like a design board, I know for me it can be helpful to kind of lay everything out as I get the units done, and then I'll be able just to take this whole thing over to my sewing machine to assemble it. So we'll go ahead and lay our units out like this. And of course this center one is going to go in the middle. And I'm just going to leave this right here for now. And what we're going to work on now are our square in a square. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. And we're going to talk about what to do here with these. So on all of your background squares, you've got 8 of them. You're actually going to cut them on the diagonal, each one of them. And that'll take you a little bit of time, but we're actually going to be having a bunch of little triangles to be able to make our square in a square. So you'll cut those on the diagonal. So I'm going to cut 2 for now so that I can show you how to sew one of these blocks together, and then you'll be able to sew the other 3. So I'll cut these in a few minutes. Once you cut these, go ahead and fold them in half and figure press. So you're wanting to make a crease to find the center of each one of these. This is going to help us whenever we line these up to be able to add them to our squares, our A, B, C, and D squares. So I'm just going to finger press all of these here like this to find the center. And then I will show you on my A square here. This is the one I'm going to be using. And you're going to fold this in half as well, find the center. So up here and down here at the bottom, just finger press those. And then what we're going to be doing, we're going to be lining up, you see the line there? We're going to be lining up those triangles on the edges. So we're going to sew a 1/4 inch all the way down, and then we're going to take another one, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to put it on this opposite end and sew a 1/4 inch down. So let's do that. And I don't use pins for these. These are pretty small squares. We'll just get that lined up, and I use a patchwork foot, which I think makes it a little bit easier to make sure I've got a 1/4 inch. And we're just going to sew a 1/4 inch all the way down. And then we're going to take one of our other triangles, and this will be right sides together if you're using prints. For me, it doesn't really matter with the solids. So we'll line up, remember those creases we've got there. And we'll sew a 1/4 inch all the way down. Then we're going to cut off these little dog ears here. This will make it easier when we sew our other triangles to the other side. Just cut those off like that. And I'll just set this to the side. Now we've got our other triangles that we're going to be using. So you're going to go to your pressing station, and you're going to press these open so that we can sew the triangles to the other side. Okay, we've got that pressed. So we're going to make a new crease so we can find the center to sew on our other two triangles. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Line those up in the center. We'll sew a 1/4 inch all the way down. And we'll just flip it around. Line up our other triangle with those creases. And we'll sew a 1/4 inch down. Now the background squares cut just slightly larger so that we can trim down. There's nothing worse than trying to get it exact and then it's off a little bit. So we're going to trim this down just a little bit. Let's go do that. You will need to press this open, however, so go ahead and press those open, then we'll trim it down. So we're trimming this down to 4.5 inches, so get your 4.5 inch ruler. And it's a little bit easier if we have it on the rotating cutting mat, so if you've got one of those, grab that. We're going to line this up here and trim this down to 4.5 inches. Okay, so now we've trimmed our block down to 4.5 square, and you're going to do the exact same thing for your other three, your B, C, and D squares, and your triangles. And then once you have those done, we'll assemble the full block. Okay, so now you've gotten all of your square into squares trimmed and put here in place, and this is how your block is going to look when we go to assemble it. So all we do is sew this row together, and then this row together. And when it comes time to press, for this you're going to press out, the second row you press in, and this row you press out. And that will be able, where you're able to nest easily. So I'm just going to pick this whole thing up, take this to my sewing machine, and sew each of these rows together. Okay, so now we've got those rows sewn together, so now we're going to press. So let's press out. And this will ensure that things nest a bit easier for us. We'll press it from the front too. Make sure that's pressed. Whoops. Okay, so that's out. This row we're going to press in towards the center square. And we'll flip it over. Give it a good press. I got this is a new mat. My other one was pretty yucky. And this one we're going to press out again. And I decided I was going to not use starch on it. And that way it won't kind of melt. When you use starch on a wool mat, it actually kind of starts to melt together with the heat after a while. So this is a bit new for me to not use any starch on my fabric. But so far, it's actually working really good. It feels kind of abnormal. Okay, so now that we've got these together, we're going to nest them so we can pin the rows together. So you'll put them together like this, and you can see how nicely those nest on both sides. We'll be able to pin that together like that. And then I'm going to go ahead, and while this is here, I'm going to go ahead and pin this one too. So we'll flip this right sides together. And we're going to nest these also. And then I can sew each row while I'm at the machine. And then everything will just line up really well, like that. All right, so let's go sew those 1/4 inches down each side. Okay, now we'll just give our block a really good press. Make sure there's no fabric in the seams. And now you have your August block, the single wedding ring block. I hope you had fun making this, and I'll look forward to seeing you September 1st for our next block. And until next time, quilty friends, make lovely things.